And the product and service that I determined when I started my business came off a couple different things. And I think for any kind of business owner, there's a couple factors you want to play in, and I'll get to the finances. One, I would probably say you need to be passionate about the product or service. You need to believe in the product and service that you sell. Whether it be that you're providing, consultation services, or whether you are selling a product and you have a franchise, you want to believe in it. In terms of finances, that's where it comes into a piece of saying, one, what is it going to cost me to do this business? If it's consultation services, may not necessarily cost as much because you don't have to get equipment as much. It may just be an office, a website, and a lot of that is really your brain power that you're putting out and you're advising people. If it's a product, you got to start thinking about it. Where am I getting this stuff manufactured from? Am I buying from here? Is it coming from overseas? What's the cost of doing that? What's the cost of warehousing? What's the cost of selling? What's the cost of doing all this kind of business and having a point of sales? Am I going to have a retail spot, or am I just doing online sales? What's the cost of shipping? So in terms of it really just depends on what product or what service you're selling, that you have to take all these kind of factors into consideration ahead of time. What I always recommend is that a person does this analysis ahead of time, in terms of what is the cost of doing business, and not what is the short-term cost of doing business, what's the long-term cost of doing business. One way to do that is look at if you're going into a market that's already pre-established, you've got a good amount of information out there in terms of competitors. So you can look at, if you see a successful model, then you can begin looking at other successful models and saying, this is how they're doing, this, that, and the other. How can we improve it? How can we tweak it? So I've got my own product, but I can tweak it so we're making a little bit more profit, this, that, and the other. We've got a lot of data out there that a lot of entrepreneurs can build off of, because a lot of people will be starting businesses that, kind of are already in a market already. But if you are in a brand new market, there are tools out there and there are methodologies out there that will help you determine pricing, that will help you determine cost. And you can use those tools and learn those tools through the VA Accelerator and other places and learn how to do this stuff in order for you not to just jump out there and then because if you price it too low, you're going to fail anyway, because you're not making a profit to sustain yourself. Your business is just scraping by, and eventually it won't help you succeed. You got to get things at the right margins in order to help you succeed.